And to be honest here, this is criminal. If you are supposed to pay salary to a staff, and part of that salary is supposed to go to his or her pension, there is no rationale in paying half of the salary and leaving the rest of the salary with you or with the county government to implement other things or to pay other things. It is not fair, it is unjust, because this money belongs to people who will one time retire. And when people retire, they want to go home with something. You are killing the future of individuals, some people in the country. So please, whatever it takes, we must now start the culture of remitting all deductions to where they should be remitted. So I'm calling upon the county government and the relevant institutions concerned, and this is not just in the county level, even at the national level we have some of these challenges. We are calling upon the county government and the relevant institutions concerned to verify and clear the debts to safeguard the social securities of our pensioners. Finally, very finally, let us all diligently play our roles of strengthening service delivery, upholding accountability, and ensuring that no Kenyan is left behind. I want to give a commitment, in so long as I'm still the Cabinet Secretary in charge of National Treasury, that we at the National Treasury will play our parts. The executive, the national government will play our parts in supporting devolution for better service delivery to our people. I thank you and God bless you.
A better applause for Waziri Mbadi. Thank you very much. It's now my humble pleasure to invite the Chairman of the Council of Governors, FCPA, Ahmed Abdullahi, to come and make his remarks, and in turn invite our chief guest who will close the conference for us. Tumpigie makofi Bwana Chairman. And Wanga, you are unfair on me on my dancing skills. I think Chairman may have beaten me on that.
Thank you very much, Whip. Your Excellency, our chief guest, the Honorable Professor Kindiki Kithure, Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Excellency Governors here present, led by my Vice Chair and the host, Governor Gladys Wanga, Deputy Governors, Cabinet Secretaries, and Principal Secretaries, recognize the presence of CS4 National Treasury, Honorable Members of the Senate and the National Assembly, Judiciary representatives, leaders of Homa Bay County and the Greater Nyanza region, ambassadors and high commissioners, principal secretaries, speakers and members of the county assemblies, all national and county government representatives, private sector and civil society representatives, development partners, international delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, we're glad to have you. We don't take it for granted that you found time out of your busy schedule to come and close this conference for us. As we draw the curtains on yet another historic devolution conference, I am filled with deep sense of pride and hope over the last 3 days and before that for the other pre-devolution conference activities. We have come together from across the country to reflect, exchange ideas, and recommit ourselves to the vision and promise of a prosperous and inclusive Kenya through devolved governance. I extend our deepest gratitude to His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, and also to His Excellency the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Professor Kindiki Kithure, and the former Prime Minister and my party leader, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, and all national and county leaders who have graced us with their presence and actively participated in our discussions. Your leadership, Your Excellencies, and support continues to inspire and sustain our devolution journey. From 12th August, we had rich, honest, and insightful conversations. On Wednesday, the theme was Good Governance Day. The theme was Good Governance. We called it Good Governance Day. We interrogated how our counties can deepen public participation civic education, transparency, rule of law, and citizen oversight. We were reminded that good governance is not a destination, but a daily practice. On Thursday, we marked the Human Rights and Social Justice Day, where we took a bold step forward in reinforcing the constitutional promise of dignity, equality, and non-discrimination. The discussions were heartfelt and deeply necessary. We unpacked political, civil, cultural, and socioeconomic rights and examined actions that counties need to take to become pillars of the realization of human rights. We acknowledge the progress made, but we also recognize the urgent need to close the gap between the policy and practices. Counties must become true champions of the human rights-based approach, placing people at the heart of every development plan. Today, this morning, we had the Financing Equity and Inclusion Day. We have been challenged to ask the hard questions: how do we sustainably fund the devolution dream, from exploring how counties can unlock access to finance medium, small, micro enterprises, to tackling matters of equitable division of revenue between the two levels of government. The conversations were solution-driven and enlightening. In addition to the plenum session, the side events played a critical role in enriching our understanding of sector-specific concerns and innovations. These sessions allowed for deep dives and peer learning. The insights gathered here must now inform our county strategies and shape future policy interventions. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, what has been clear throughout this conference is that devolution is not just a governance system, it's an lived experience. It is our mothers receiving maternity care at local health centers. It is our young entrepreneurs accessing credit for their agribusiness. It is our children accessing the best education. The resolutions we have adopted are not just words on paper. They are a call to action, a call to all of us, as leaders and public servants, the civil society, the private sector, and the Kenyan citizen, to uphold the constitutional spirit of Article 174 and make devolution work in every corner of this republic. As we leave Homa Bay and return to our respective workstations, may we carry with us the spirit of this conference and a renewed energy, a sharper vision, and a wavering commitment to serve. Let us be bold in our leadership and consistent in our service. As I conclude, Your Excellency, I'll conclude by thanking all those who made this conference a success. The county government of Homa Bay, under the leadership of Her Excellency Gladys Wanga. My sister, you have exceeded our expectations. We thank you. We also want to thank the steering committee under the able leadership of my Vice Chair, Dr. Mutahi Kahiga, the planning committee, which was chaired by our CEO. We want to thank all the platinum sponsors. We want to thank all the resource persons, service providers, partners, delegates, civil society organizations, the media, and above all the citizens of Kenya who were participating delegates at this conference. Your engagement and commitments to continue to breathe life into the devolution dream. Your Excellency, just on two issues that were raised by the speaker before me, our brother, the CS Badi. CS Badi, want to thank you for all the efforts you're making in reducing the time that we take to access funds. There definitely has been an improvement since you came into that role. We don't take it for granted, we appreciate it. On pensions debt, I'll have discussions with you on how to deal with the historical pensions.
Mtazamaji wa kwetu,
Part of it is clearly not what counties can pay out of their current equitable share. Mistakes were made, and we just have to have bailout in certain instances if we have to make that good. It also raises questions of the oversight. Then, on the issue of the Conditional Allocations Act, yes, there are delays in passing, and it's been a problem. You know how we've been filibustered on RMLF by the National Assembly. I don't want to discuss that here. I want to end on a good note. But we also have a challenge of national government budget not appropriating even what is passed by the two houses after lengthy mediation. So we have a County Additional Allocations Act, which then allocates us funds that we can't access because they have not been appropriated in the national government budget. I think those are conversations we will have. At this point, I want to invite Your Excellency, the Deputy President, to address us. Your Excellency, you have brought professionalism and a voice of reason into that office. From an IBEC that we dreaded to one that we look forward to attend, I must thank you, Your Excellency. Asante sana. No wonder you are a professor. Karibu ndugu yangu. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Very much, Chair. I request that we get seated. Colleagues and friends, it's very challenging to speak the very last after 3 days of hard work, because delegates would want to get home, and the law of diminishing returns is at work. But it's also an opportunity and a benefit, because for the same reason that we all want to get traveling home, concentration capacity is at its lowest, and therefore the last speaker can get away with anything. It is with great optimism I deliver these remarks at the conclusion of a very successful 9th Devolution Conference held in this beautiful and vibrant county of Homa Bay. I commend the Homa Bay County for once again demonstrating its capacity to host national events with excellence and distinction, having only recently hosted the 2025 Madaraka Day celebrations with remarkable success. The warmth of the people of Homa Bay, the efficiency of the leadership of Homa Bay County, and the flawless logistical arrangements enjoyed here speak volumes about what devolution can achieve. This conference, therefore, comes at an opportune time, resonating with the hopes and dreams of every resident of this county, the spirit of devolution and the vision of equal development and opportunity across the length and breadth of this great Republic of Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and colleagues, over the past 4 days, the 9th Devolution Conference has served as a critical policy forum, facilitating evidence-based dialogue, peer learning, stakeholder reflection on the trajectory of Kenya's devolution agenda. Participants have rigorously interrogated data, shared subnational innovations, synthesized citizen feedback, and reaffirmed our collective commitment to embedding equity, inclusion, and social justice into the fabric of the devolved government's structure. The 9th Devolution Conference has brought into sharp focus some of the most enduring and structural challenges facing devolution today. Significantly, the deliberations have been grounded in data, participatory evidence, and collaborative results. Additionally, this conference has served as a mechanism of accountability, reaffirming that devolution is more than a constitutional aspiration. It is a practical and developmental instrument for advancing spatial equity, participatory democracy, and transformative service delivery. In so doing, the conference has underscored the future of devolution lies in institutional innovation, shared responsibility, and policy execution that centers on the citizen. The deliberations of this conference were structured under particular themes. The good governance theme reaffirmed a central truth that public participation, civic engagement, social accountability, and fidelity to the rule of law are not just discretionary ideals. The deliberations on human rights and social justice brought into sharp focus the imperative of embedding a rights-based approach within our devolved governance structures. As we bring this year's Devolution Conference to a close, I reaffirm the national government's unwavering commitment to strengthening devolution, because devolution remains our most powerful tool for driving inclusion, equity, and social justice for us prosperous Kenya. I commend the National Treasury for maintaining a strong disbursement performance despite the prevailing fiscal situation. And as the Minister has said, as of end of June 2025, all the disbursements, including the arrears of the previous financial year, have been settled. I encourage continued collaboration of the national and county governments in the execution of key priority projects that we are partnering to deliver. For example, the county aggregation and industrial parks, which remain a critical anchor to the job creation agenda. In the health sector also, through the partnership of both levels of government, Kenya has now enrolled in excess of 25.5 million residents under Taifa Care, administered by the Social Health Authority, SHA. This is a major step towards achieving universal health coverage. The national government will be reaching out to county governments to activate a joint plan to engage our young people in targeted interventions. The young people of Kenya have expressed their reservations with the government's speed and efficiency in executing the agenda for job and income opportunity creation. Tied to these reservations are concerns relating to integrity and transparency and accountability. There is need, therefore, for greater level of engagement with our young people, and I commend this conference for starting the conversations with and involving the young people. And I hope this will be a culture in our country so that going forward we can have regular sessions of engagement across generations, across gender, across other divisions to build a stronger country. Going forward, the youth will play a very important role in Kenya's social transformation. And therefore, we hold them dearly as part of our endeavor to create national solutions for the problems facing our society today. The government does not brush over the concerns raised by young people. Instead, we are committed to securing spaces for dialogue and continuous consultations to ensure that we enhance trust in the institutions of government. And when I say government, it is the two levels of government. This we must do in concert, not in confrontation. Distinguished guests, fellow leaders, friends of devolution, fellow countrymen and friends, allow me to end my remarks by just off the cuff saying that, in summary, the things that will underpin our progress as a nation going forward into the 21st century, in my view, the place of young people, the youth of the nation and the youth of this continent, will be critical in underwriting and defining our common future. So as we even center devolution on the people and on the citizen, the young person, the youth, for various advantages that they hold against other generations, they will play a very important part in defining our common future. Technology will also play an important part. And finally, to bridge the resource and financing gaps that we are experiencing in the public sector, in the two levels of government, the three arms of government, the partnerships between the public and private sector in terms of raising resources and financing the provision of services and projects is going to be critical. And therefore, the youth, technology, and partnerships will define Kenya's and Africa's 21st century. Secondly, I say this without any fear of contradiction, that of all the innovations of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, the most profound innovation and the crown jewel of our current Constitution is devolution. And this is a good opportunity, therefore, to pay tribute to a great son of this county, the late Dr. Crispin Odhiambo Bai, who laid his life in the fight for a devolved Kenya and a more equitable Kenya. And I have had the moment to witness the remembrance that has been placed by the county government of Homa Bay and the Council of Governors at the Bay in honor of a great son of Homa Bay, Dr. Crispin Odhiambo Bai. May his soul rest in eternal peace. I am also conscious of the milestones we have achieved in the last so many years under this devolved system. The structures and the relationships among institutions are work in progress, and there are a lot of positive stories around devolution. The latest achievement has been the signing into law of a bill granting financial autonomy to our county assemblies so that they can provide effective, as opposed to vindictive, oversights over the executive at the county level. We hope that the county assemblies will use those resources to perfect their constitutional role of oversight and also of representation and legislation. The threats that face us going into the 21st century, number one is corruption and abuse of resources meant for the provision of public services, and this affects both levels of government, the national government and the county governments. It affects all the arms of government, the executive at both levels, the legislature at both levels of government, and the judiciary, which is not devolved. No one is spared. It affects and it has permitted into private sector, civil society, academia, and into the citizenry of our country. And time has come for us to face head-on the threat of corruption and the danger it poses for the sustainability of our democracy and of our country. We are also facing the risk of sectarianism and subnational interests that are sometimes ethnic-oriented and in many times attempt to undermine and claw back on national unity and the cohesion of our country. We must also be alive to the grave risk posed by violence and extreme behavior that is processed through violent means. And therefore, violent extremism today is not around religious fundamentalism only, but we are witnessing also political intolerance and extremism, where disagreements on national issues, including national problems, are processed through violent behavior. That, in my very humble submission, fellow Kenyans, poses grave danger to the sustainability of Kenya and Africa as we move to the 21st century. Therefore, the triple risks of corruption, sectarianism, especially ethnic sectarianism, and violent extremism, including politics and political issues being processed through violence, those three risks stand on the way to our prosperity as we look into the 21st century. But as I have said, good people, we have the benefits, the advantage, the resources, and the largesse of a huge and educated young population, a hub for technology and innovation in our country, and the growing harmonization of the resources across public and private sector to produce enough resources to deliver services. We have a good constitutional order whose crown jewel is devolution, and increasingly the relationships between all institutions in devolution is work in progress, and there's a lot of success stories for us to learn from. It is therefore a great privilege for me to stand before you, fellow Kenyans and friends, in this land of Homa Bay County, a land that has produced very many great Kenyans, the late Tom Mboya, a great nationalist who fought for the independence of our country. We recently buried Mama Phoebe Asio, who did a great job towards the empowerment of women and the recognition of equality across gender. But we have present-day heroes. What our sister Gladys Wanga has done is to affirm and confirm that what a man can do, a woman can do better. My sister, you have dignified the leadership of women. Going forward, let there be no doubt about what a woman can do as a leader. We applaud you, and you're a good example to our sisters and our daughters, so that we can know that a woman is just as good, if not better, a leader than the rest of us. So thank you very much, Gladys. But we have our great son here of Homa Bay, John Buddy, the first National Treasury Minister from this region, courtesy of President William Ruto. The first National Treasury or Finance Minister from this part of the world and this part of the country, who in a record 1 year has